Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Mighty Ginkgo's Guide to Making Stuff in Second Life. My name is Zero, and I'm your instructor teaching you guys how to do the basics. So now we have a t-shirt that we made in various ways. This is the one I made in Marvelous Designer. If you made one using just straight Blender, you can use that t-shirt along with this tutorial. The methods are still the same, it's just a different t-shirt. So with that said, let's get on to actually rigging this shirt to the skeleton. There are three ways to rig a garment to the skeleton. The automatic way, using the Avastar plugin. The manual way, using just straight Blender. And then there's the non-Tpose rigging, which requires the Avastar plugin to do. I'm sure that you can use the non-Tpose rigging, as well with the manual, but I never got good results out of it, so I always suggest using the automatic Blender way for rigging non-Tpose things. Now you may be wondering, what's the Tpose? You see how your avatar is in this kind of T-like position with his arms straight out and legs together like this? That's called the Tpose in 3D lingo. You may also hear people call it the Jesus pose, but Tpose is a little less religiously. So now that I got that all explained, let's dive right in and start rigging. So the first thing you want to do is the easy one, and that's the Avastar plugin rigging. And I'm starting with that one because, well, you'll see later on why I'm starting with that. So what you do is, let's just press A, and my screencast went out again. 1 second. Okay. So then we're going to press A and make sure everything is deselected. You're going to make sure that you're in object mode down here. Just make sure it's in object mode, because you can't rig in any other mode except for object mode. You're going to first click on the garment and then hold down shift and select the loops. If you don't see the loops, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Sometimes Avastar will be in skin mode, and they'll look like this. The bones will look like this. If you're in pose mode, like it starts out by default, you'll see loops. I like to keep it in loops when I'm doing the rigging, because it's a lot easier to grab the loops than it is to trying to grab the skin things. Now, I know it's easy to grab one right now, but if I was doing something like a big skirt or whatever, loops are a lot easier, because if it was, you would just say turn it sideways and grab the eyes. But loops. So let's go back into pose mode and use loops instead of bones right now. Okay, so what I want to do is grab the garment, go back into object mode first, select the garment, hold down shift, select the loops, then go over to the Avastar panel on the side here, and then we're going to open up the tab that says skinning. And when it says skinning, you're going to press the button here that says bind to armature. Now before I do that, I'm going to actually save this so that I'm in my I can revert back here to do the next couple of things. It's easier for me that way, but you don't have to save any right now. So you're just going to press the bind to armature and wait for it to go, and that's it. The shirt is now rigged to the avatar and the Second Life skeleton. So we're going to test out the rigging of it, the weights and stuff. So we're going to click on the loops, go into pose mode, click on the arm loops, press the R key, and rotate it down. And as you can see, the garment moves with the avatar. Alright, so let's say that you have and that's how you do automatic Second Life. That's how you do automatic rigging using the Avastar plugin. So I'm going to revert this real quick and go back to normal. So now our garment is back to that normal state before I rigged it. See, when we move it, it doesn't move. Alright, so the shirt is rigged. Now let's say, for example, you have a shirt or an avatar that is in, let me move this over here, a non-T-pose. As you see, the arms are down, and this is typically called the A pose. Actually, if the legs are spread apart too, that's really A, but for the most part, the arms are down and what looks like A. Now, this is not lined up properly because, you know, I'm blind as all hell, so this was even to me at the time. But as you can clearly see, it's uneven. Doesn't matter. Arms are down and it's giving the effect that I want. A pose. How do you, if you try to rig your garment, let's say you have a garment and it's like A, and you have your A garment, and you try to do the same thing by clicking on the garment, holding down shift, clicking on the loops, and you just bind to armature. Everything's going to work out fine, right? Nope. That happens. You see the arms are down here, and everything is just wrong. The reason why it's acting this way is because you forgot to check an important box. And that box is the alter to rest pose box. I'm just going to keep going back until we get back to before we rigged it. Now, let's say you have, we're going to go back here to the Tpose. I'm sorry, it's kind of late. Alright, so we're going to go back here before we rigged it and had that failure. And we are going to click on the bones, and we're going to go into pose mode. And you're going to click on the loops, and you're going to press R and try to line the arms up with the garment as best as you can. I already had it pre-done, but that's really what you're supposed to do, the first step, to get this to work properly. So you see my arms are down here and it's matched up inside the shirt. Now what I'm going to do next is click on the garment, hold down shift, click on the loops, and then I'm going to press this box here that says alter to rest pose. You're going to check that and then push bind to armature. So this time when it connects, and we press R, you see it moves and it works much better this time because we altered to the rest pose, and that's how it normally works. There's still some errors in here that need to be corrected, but that's going to come into weight paint, and we'll talk about that later. If you like the way it is, you can go on, stop here, and then just export. But again, we'll talk about that later. So let's go back to the last style of rigging and attaching the skeleton. Ugh, I am all over the place tonight. Okay, so let's go to the next step, which is the last style in attaching your shirt to the second life skeleton, and that is manual rigging. So what we're going to do is go back to the first layer here, and I'm going to select the skirt, select the shirt, hold down shift, select the bones, make sure that you're in object mode, otherwise it won't work. So shirt, shift, bones, then you go Control P, and it will Control P, and it will bring up the automatic weights. So there we go. So you do Control P and then you select automatic weights. That's what I meant to say. Now when you click on the bones and go to pose mode, you'll see that the shirt is rigged to the skeleton, but it's not really manipulating, it's not moving as well as you're getting all this clipping here. It's not moving as well as it did with the Avastar thing. So you may be wondering, why would I even need to know how to do manual painting? Well, sometimes manual can save the day with some dev kits, and sometimes the Avastar rigging will fail and manual succeeds. And sometimes manual will fail and then Avastar will succeed. So it's good to know how to attach garments to skeletons using these various methods, because they'll end up saving the day. Now let's talk about this. See that error we have here where we move the arm and the chest is being manipulated as well? That's not right. And the reason why it's not acting right, the reason why it's acting this way and not looking beautiful, is because there's a problem with the weights. But that's another video. We're just going to end it right here so you know how to attach it to the skeleton. And then we can dive in and then talk about weight painting. So this is where I'm going to end it right now, and I'll see you in the weight painting video.